Well, hey, welcome back. This is the first session, first full session for Tokyo Otherscape and our group of intrepid adventurers. We are unfortunately down two people today. Okay, so unfortunately, Steve and Joe had other commitments, and they will catch up with the team, or should I say, the family, uh, when we next in our next time we record. So anyway, by way of introduction, just so everybody remembers, I'm Joe. I'm the MC. This is Tokyo Otherscape, and we were playing Metro Otherscape, a new game by SonofOak Games. It's a tag-based role-playing game. This is our first time playing it, so please be kind. Bear with us. We don't know all the rules. We're getting there. Okay. So I have Rachel here. Rachel, would you please tell us what character you are playing?
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'll be playing Yumiko Nakawa. Excuse me if I did not say any of those names correctly. And I'll be playing the local Yakuza princess of the group.
All right, thank you. And then we have Matt. Matt, how about introducing your character?
I'm here. I'm playing a character by the name of Asahi Senji. I guess I should put his name up in my Zoom here. Yeah, I'm playing Asahi Senji. He's also a member of the local Yakuza. Uh, he's kind of a leftist radical.
All right. And last for today, we have Bruce. Bruce, how about introducing us to your character?
Hey, yo. I'll be playing Genki Takahashi, who is a smiling debt connector who is a bringer of misfortune when you're late. Um, his smiling face is usually with true anime style closed eyes, where he's looking at you through slits in a predatory fashion because you're already late on your payments. We're gonna work something out.
All right. Yeah, he scares even me. All right. So we are going to be playing, for those of you watching at home, we are going to be playing the adventure scenario, such as it is, which is actually pretty good. In the called Strings Attached. It's in the core book, and it's the one that they recommend that new groups to get groups new to the game play. So, anyway, we're gonna do that. I am going to go ahead and get over to this. So, friends, we're going to start in media res. You have been asked by the boss, came through by one of the messengers, boss of the big family. Okay. What's your family's name again? What's the Yakuza family?
Um, we were supposed to discuss during the week, and I think we have not discussed that or the crew name.
Okay. Crew name's not a
Oh,
big deal. Go ahead, Rachel. Sorry.
I think it would work if we just use my character's last name.
Okay, we can do that. All right, so it's
The
uh
Kawa clan.
Niyakawa.
Yeah, that works.
All right, so you're the
Miyakawa.
Niyakawa clan. So you get a messenger from Rachel's grandmother. So from not Rachel's grandmother, I'm sorry. From
Because
Yumiko's grandmother. And you are ordered to take a job from this fixer that's only goes by the name of Frank, which is very
that's
strange in
weird.
Japan and Tokyo. Um, and so you've been given coordinates. It comes up in the message that comes up Yumiko in your implant. So do you have cyber? Do you have a cyber implant? Or do you have contacts, cyber contacts? I mean, how does I know that you have a tag of the AI hacker? Okay. So what is the method by which you hack?
I like to envision it as it's like a little pocket thing that I have attached. It's within my cybernetics and it pops out as its own hologram.
Okay, so does that hologram do you also use that hologram for like mundane stuff too, like taking messages and getting video feeds and things like that?
Yeah, she helps me out with everything.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so video feed comes up from your grandmother and says Yumika-chan, I have a job for you and your I have a job for you and your friends. I think this is going to be right up your alley.
Ooh, do tell.
Well, you need to start contributing to the family a little bit more. So, got a friend of
I
mine.
tried. I
Yeah.
tried. You just don't let me. I gave you that juicy bit of detail earlier about that CEO who's apparently sleeping around with someone who was like 50 years younger than him, but you didn't take it. I don't know what else to give you.
Look, we have an existing relationship with that CEO. We couldn't use that. We'll keep it in our back pocket.
Okay, fine.
All right. So, look, I know you've got a pretty good number of guys there that at your house. Why don't uh, why don't you take some of them and go talk to this? Take your team and go talk to this fixer, Frank. We've uh, the families went ahead and contracted for the job, but they want to meet you face to face.
Okay, so a few questions, Grandma. Sorry, I'm going to be respectful, but do I have anything else besides the name Frank? Do you have an IP address? Where was the ad hosted? I need a little bit more if you want me to do my job appropriately.
It's here, and coming over your holograph is a map. Okay, in the map
Okay.
is a pin, and on the pin, it is directly in the what they call the sludge zone of Tokyo these days. It's
You want me to go there?
yes, this is where they want to meet. Look,
But I'm wearing Jimmy Choo 10,000 that Daddy bought me.
no, this takes precedent. I don't care what your father says.
Fine. Will you
S-
buy me that new kimono?
mm,
I'll even wear the nice one at the next marriage counseling meeting.
yes, then
I'll even
yes.
straighten my hair.
Really? Okay. Well then, will you dye it?
No,
What is so wrong with black hair?
there is nothing wrong with black hair. It's, however, an issue since birth you've been trying to straighten it. So, let me have my little rebellion. I'll be the good little princess, marry a guy, be the head of the council, give you little great grandkids later. But let me have this.
Fine. Just
Thank you.
meet up with the fixer. I'll get you the kimono.
Love you, Grandma.
Love you too.
Bye.
So this so this pin is directly in the sludge zone, and it's in the area of the sludge zone that has been left completely fallow. So about 20 years ago, there was a tsunami, an earthquake, a huge earthquake in Tokyo, or off the shore of Tokyo, that created a tsunami that flooded whole regions of Tokyo. Not just Tokyo, but Japan, the center part of Japan. And Tokyo was hit horribly, horribly. So the districts of what is it, Minato, where the Imperial Palace is, they all got flooded. Now the dock area, the harbor, got hit, of course, the hardest. And unfortunately, or fortunately, this, depending on who you are, this coincided with the corporate wars where outside international business tried to take over Japan. Uh, through the power of their corporations. So luckily that didn't happen, but one of the things that never got fixed because of all the money that was spent fending off these gaijin corporations was whole parts of Tokyo Harbor were left fallow. So they call that now the sludge zone. And so we're going to go ahead and change scene. This is the sludge zone. Okay. It's actually, so what you see in the sludge zone is all this wreckage of things like a harbor, and you see this wreckage of a harbor. It's polluted. There are, the water is nothing got but detritus in it. The What would stand for a beach area is, has everything from fossil fuels to chemicals that have inundated it. There are people who live in the sludge zone, and these are usually people who either you know, don't want to be found, or they're people who can't afford to live anywhere else. And so they take the wreckage and make makeshift shacks and things like that. But this is the unwashed masses that are living here. Um which is a
How near is the sludge zone to our territory?
I don't know. We haven't established where your territory is yet.
Oh, okay.
So we can do that. Do you want to do that now? We can Let me go
Yeah,
back.
let's do it.
Okay, let's go back to here. Let me activate this. All right. So on the map of Tokyo here, sorry everybody else that you can't see this, but you we can only do what we know how to do at the moment. So you see where it says Tokyo Bay and Port of Tokyo right here? That's the sludge zone. Is portions of this Port of Tokyo. Not all of it. There's some working harbor there and everything. I mean, it's still a port. But the outlying portions of this are what are the sludge zone. Okay. Um so Minato-ku is where Tokyo Tower is, Roppongi. That's kind of like center Tokyo. Okay. So you can be in any of these. You can have your territory in any of these districts. It won't be the whole district, of course, because you're not that big. But it'll be a portion of one of these districts. Okay. So like places like Ginza over here in Choku, that's like the that's like Fifth Avenue. That's kind of like the glitzy shopping area. Okay. Roppongi is the expat district, so where all the foreigners live. Tokyo Tower, everybody knows what Tokyo Tower looks like. Shinjuku is the area that's big on style, right? Rachel, that's like where that's like where Rachel's people would hang out. Or not Rachel's people, but that's where Yumiko's people would hang out.
I
Um,
believe.
yep. Then there's let's see. Then there's Akihabara, which is like that's the electronic wonderland. That's where like all of the um that's where a lot of the places that do things like sell electronics, and also there's a lot of like anime culture and manga culture and stuff that cosplay. Maid cafes are a thing there. Now I'm talking about right now. Just extrapolate that into the future about 60 years, okay? And that is and to its ultimate end. Um Ikebukuro is a big shopping area, okay? Up here kind of in the north of Tokyo. And then these other districts are just kind of like not like suburbs. They're kind of like just outlying areas that are also part of Tokyo. Um, Another important place, Asakusa, right here, where it says number one, Asakusa. That is, there's a very big temple there, and it's a very traditional area for within Tokyo. There's Harajuku down here. That's kind of like the nightlife area. I think Shibuya is big on shopping too, isn't it? I forget. Yeah.
So Shibuya is shopping. There's two different distinct places. Harajuku is the big place I think you were thinking of when we were talking about Shinjuku, because
Oh yeah.
Harajuku, I believe, is the more colorful, bright pop. I think Shinjuku is more of like the. It's also fashion, but there's like a distinction between the two areas. I just can't remember
Yeah.
what the line is.
So Tokyo is kind of like a city that's made up of cities. Each one of these districts you can kind of think of as a city.
So they're kind of like they have all these little districts have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
They're kind of like these self-contained.
Yes,
Okay.
they all kind of have their own specialties, like their
Right.
own kind of character.
But otherwise, they have everything that a city would have.
Yeah. Like you got grocery stores, movie theaters, schools, all of that's going to be there.
So where do we want to? Where do we want to? Where do we want to live?
I think based off of what we agreed for the Yakuza group, I think we'd either be closer to the more traditional side, just because our group has a bit more of the mythical aspect over the cyberpunk side. Even though we do have the cyberpunk, not saying we don't. I just think maybe if we picked an area that still hasn't been, that still has more of the traditional aspects, would be a good section.
Bruce, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. So probably something toward Taitoku or Minanatuku. That'll
Yeah.
drop it down to 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minonatsuku, just so you know, like a lot of like corporate high rises and stuff are in Minonatsuku. That's like center Tokyo.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
I like the traditional pick. I'm with you guys on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to just have your territory as Sakusa?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
'cause
Can we have it like along the river?
Asakusa is along the river. It's
Okay.
that area, like I mean, that whole
Sumida
area. Remember, this
Yeah.
is a city, and you also get everywhere by train. So it's not like it's not like that river's that far, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I just thought it would be neat. That was my
I mean, sure.
addition.
Where
Can we have it
Haneda
just
Airport
physically
is,
along the river?
Okay.
where Haneda Airport is down in the south,
Yeah.
I could get further south to Yokosuka, I think, in like less than 2 hours to get to the beaches if I
Yep.
wanted to. So, and that's just going south. It's so much faster when you're going into the city because there's more train lines.
Right. And in addition, since this is Tokyo 60 or so years in the future, all the train lines are there. They're just maybe a little faster, just as efficient. Everything's on time. Okay. But they're also run by like a big train conglomerate. Okay. Like they already are. Okay. And so
And AIs.
NAIs, yeah, sure, NAIs. It makes them more efficient. And but there are also things like there are flying taxis. You know, there are there are personal flying craft that mostly the rich have. Or businesses have?
I think it would be a very fun idea for Yumiko and all of us. We have a no-fly zone, and we use our drones and everything to take photos of the rich
And the
who
no-fly zone.
fly over the no-fly zones. And
We're monitoring to see if anyone else is.
Well, maybe that's something to aspire to. Maybe for your group, maybe trying to get the diet to allow for people to create their own personal no-fly zones is something you could aspire to do. So maybe you're doing it now, but people are like, sometimes they're crossing you because there's no weight of law behind it. But you know, it is. You're also Yakuza too, so you got your own law.
I thought he was taking perverted photos of me, officer. I'm sorry that I shot this high-profile person flying over my house.
All right. So are we good with that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
So Sludge Zone is down here where you see Port of Tokyo, like a couple of these purple blocks towards the Tokyo Bay. That area would be the Sludge Zone. Okay. It
Right.
just was never rebuilt. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so you're the Sludge Zone. All right. So Yumiko, this pin has you three have arrived at where the pin is. Okay? And you are in the center of a rundown shipping container moving area, like with one of those big gantry cranes, and the gantry crane is all like cockeyed because of the flooding, is like bent one of the stilts on the side, and it's kind of like leaned at maybe like a 20-degree angle. All right. And you see up on the top of the gantry, okay, there is a small figure, hard to make out, looks female, um and has and is standing there with their arms crossed, looking down at you from where they are. All right. And you get a message, uh, like an invite to chat over your implant. You're on mute.
I'm naming the AI Miku. So,
Okay.
Miku, is that a safe invite? Did you also find any information on this dude? Also, Inky, do you see that fucker?
Yep, they're asking whoever that is. They're asking for. I believe that's our contact, and uh, they're asking for audio.
Accept.
Okay. So you see, she says, you get a female voice comes over, absolutely Japanese, speaking fluent Japanese accent, Tokyo accent. And it says, Niyakawa-san, are you and your friends joining me?
We're here, aren't we?
Well,
I'm
I meant up here.
fine. Yes, we'll be up there soon. How do we get up there, Genki? Genki-san?
Yankee like hasn't really been moving this whole time. And he's been looking up. I know like he like slowly does like a side like turn to look at Asahi. And he pulls out his AI device and he does a little thing and he flips a digital coin. And he sighs and he says, I guess we climb. And he puts his hands in his pockets and small like metal things start clicking in his backpack that kind of merges into his jacket. And spiders start crawling out that are metal. And he just says, find a path. And he just starts walking. And then he looks back and looks Yumiko up and down. It's like, find a clean path. and he just starts walking and looks for a safe way, and then like when he sees something and they've triggered something, he kind of just takes one hands out and puts it in front of him. I'll
Okay.
go ahead and lead. And he kind of looks like at Asahi and says, "I guess you got the back." And it's
And
it's
nod.
implied the fact that we're basically making sure she doesn't fall.
I shall also just add another layer of flavor. I have my rabbit in the rabbit backpack in front of me.
Oh, it's got like looking out of like a little
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
bubble
little cat
window
ones,
or
they have like
something.
the little explorer.
Yeah. My rabbit's sitting in there. Tomago, just
Okay.
staring around.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, I'll throw up I throw up my AR feeds and take, you know, the info coming from Bruce's spiders uh to kind of feel like kind of just give myself a visual path, you know. And I bring up the rear.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna make you roll for any of that to climb up on the crane because this is just establishing the beginning of the adventure. So but
I will I will say this: the spider drones are in varying size. Some of them are big enough for like a foot to be on.
Mhm. But let me explain something about the game. One of the things that if we were rolling for this, Bruce, when you took the action to have your drones go look for a path, all right, you would be using them. Okay, so narratively, you would be rolling on to create a story tag. All right, that would be like
Safe path.
safe
Well,
path.
if I passed.
Yeah, if you passed, it'd be like safe path, and then depending on what your power is, you could add the power to that. So, and then everyone else, you could say, okay, I'm going to let everybody else use this. Okay, and narratively, you're like Matt had said with Ashi, um, he's bringing up the feed on his screen, on his stuff from your drones, and then so he can also take advantage of that story tag. Okay. All right. But since we're not rolling for any of that, all right, we're going to get into plenty of rolling. All right.
Okay.
You end up on top of the gantry, all three of you. All right. The wind howls under a bleak sky as you almost fall in the climb to the top of the old construction gantry. It's difficult. It's not for the faint of heart. This fixer, Frank, who's supposed to have a job for you, chose the strangest place to meet. So now you're up there with her. Okay? Let me show you what she looks like. Again, apologies to anybody watching this.
I love this image, by the way.
Which one?
Just the background with like the three people
Oh, yeah.
looking into the puddle. But the
Yeah.
back like the
For the viewers
background
who
on it
can't see,
is just
he's giving you a play-by-play.
that's great.
Princes in the background from England on the screen in the right corner.
Okay, this is what she looks like.
Frank.
It's
All
Frank.
right.
One of the things that you found out, Yumiko, because you had said you had asked, make it. What's her name? Mako? Miko? Miko. You asked Miko to look up something about Frank. One of the things is that Frank has a normally goes in some circles by solid. That's her handle. All right. Um, but for some reason, with your grandmother, she used her nickname, which is Frank. So
Is she family?
no,
Not family.
nope, no family. This is a job from the outside.
Okay.
Yeah. the family's taking the job. They're assigning you to it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Greetings, Frank. What would I say if I wanted to treat them as an equal?
Frank, as an equal,
Yeah, what's the
respectfully, it would
honorific?
still be Frank's son.
Frank's son.
Yeah.
Frank's son. Greetings.
Yeah. She looks and she just gives a curt bow of her head, and you see that
For a very like disgust look, like
yeah,
you made me climb up here. Do you know who I am? Like,
yeah,
the
but
fuck?
I am not going. She says she looks at you and
Oh
says,
no, Yumiko's not saying this.
"Oh,
That's like what her face is showing. Like Yumiko's
Like, so there's a look of contempt, like she should know you don't have to have the conversation because
yeah.
she's old enough to know.
mm-hmm,
This is gross.
okay." So you see that from the side of her head, she's got these cans that are on the side of her head. You see that one of them detaches and it sprouts like little like ornithopter wings, okay? And it starts flying over towards you. She's about 30 or 40 feet away, okay? And she starts and the thing comes out and you can actually like see it. It's starting to scan you.
Miku, can you please scan whatever the fuck that is and where it's taking my data? And
Um okay.
Frankie, fuck,
It says,
is
"Oh,
that
she's
fuck?
establishing credentials. She's checking your biometrics."
I didn't consent to this.
No, but you might have to bear with it, Yumiko.
Did we get similar information on her?
Yeah, Yumiko, I'm hand waving all of this, by the way. So normally you would do
Right.
rolls. Um, Yumiko,
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I just want to like. I kind of like snap my fingers at that, and Mike and like my companion, kind of like. Uh, we can talk about how
Gives her this
she
digital
appears.
business card.
Yeah, but my companion functions like in that similar capacity for me, and so my companion kind of pops out and starts like she's like looking over her phone like she's typing on it. That's kind of like how she, you
okay,
know,
okay,
and so she does the same thing.
all right, yeah. So Frank looks to you, all three of you, and says, "Okay, you check out." So you're,
Does 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 uh does my companion does she check out with mine?
oh yeah, she is who she
Okay.
says she is.
All right. I say that to the
Okay,
rest of the group. She checks out.
yeah, she just gives you a look like almost like exasperated, like fine, whatever. So so um says um her drone comes back, clicks into the side of her head, um and she says, "Okay, good, you made it." Her voice is a little hoarse. Um and you can see there's bluish vapor wafting on her breath. Nice climb. I don't hire cowards for my contracts. Also, so glad we got that out of the way.
What's the job?
Says I got a contract with uh Killa Kanzaros and partners. Uh to find an associate of theirs, a Carl Masaryk. It's Masaryk. He's a con who was evacuated along with several hundred others out of that hellhole when the water came. With a face like a storm cloud, she points towards the bay at a derelict island out in the waves that was Skiron Correctional Complex. But now the company that owns it, Threadwell, has moved back in, and they seem to have brought Marziak with them, alongside of some other inmates. Officially, the place is still closed, so whatever they're doing is probably being backed up by armed corporate guards. This also creates an opportunity to break Marziak out, which is what KMP are willing to pay for. Apparently, he's a genius when it comes to synthetic gems. They call him the Gem Cutter. Or at least they would if you managed to get him out of there and in one piece. Otherwise, you'll know him as a corpse that cost us a lot of money. So what do you do?
I'm gonna just to clarify with her. Okay, so um the name of the company,
KMP.
Killikanzaros. What was that again?
Yeah, Kallikanzaros. It's Kalliktzaros. And partners.
Ah, TZ
AROS. Yep.
AROS.
It's a Greek company.
Kallikanzaros. Got you. Okay. All right. I'm just okay. Just making sure. Okay. So they need us to find Carl Masaryk. What was that? His name?
Masaryk. Masaryk.
Masaryk.
Yep.
Masaryk. Carl Masaryk. Okay, so we want to get this guy, Carl Masaryk, who's being incarcerated at
Their
what was it
correctional
called?
complex.
Is that SCIRON?
SKER. I'm sorry.
K
Wait. SKEIRON. Scaron.
SKEIRON. Okay.
Correctional
Okay.
Complex. So,
Correctional
yep.
complex.
You would
Okay.
know that, and because she had pointed it out anyway, but you would just know because of the flood with the tsunami. It was one of the victims of the tsunami, that Scaron Correctional Complex.
Hmm.
It essentially got completely flooded, and it was abandoned by um, Scaron. So that company,
Okay.
or this company
Okay.
is Threadbare. Threadwell. The company is
Threadwell.
Threadwell. Yep.
Okay.
They're the ones that bought out or they're the ones that owned it and they're putting it back into operations.
Oh,
Okay.
You're right. So wait, let me back up. Scaron got bought after it was destroyed by Threadwell. Threadwell now owns it. All right.
So Threadwell had been incarcerating Sarek prior to this, and they now have moved him to this new facility.
Well, actually, you don't know that because they bought this complex. So Marzak is, but they now have brought Marzak to this destroyed Skiron Correctional Complex, along with other inmates.
Oh,
So maybe
okay.
they're reopening it or something like that.
I thought everybody's been living there since the natural disaster and they
No,
just sold it to another corporation, just sold it because it's like, we're losing money. We're not doing anything with
no,
it. Let's make some money off
no,
this.
no, no. He was
That's
incarcerated.
dark though.
He was incarcerated somewhere else.
Okay.
So there,
That's nicer.
yeah. So he was incarcerated somewhere else, and then, um, and now that Skiron's opening up, they're bringing him there.
Do you know, Frank, is Threadwell currently leveraging Mr. Mazarik's talents?
Well, uh, likely it is likely that he is. Um, just because a talent like his, I don't think you would keep it on the down low. Skiron definitely was.
Oh, okay. So prior to Threadwell, he already had been doing something
Yep.
that we want him to do for us. Or sorry, you want him to do for you.
Well, KNP does.
The job is with my contracts with K&P. They want him.
They want him. Okay, so
So
whatever
she's
they want him for.
outsourcing the
None of my
job.
business.
Yeah.
Okay, but we don't actually know. But we can assume so.
Firm, he's at that island over there right now.
The intel that I have says that that's where they brought him.
And what's that intel? Can you share it with me?
I just did. That's
Okay.
what we know.
All right, I think I understand. Is there anything else like to share before we talk our fee?
Well, let's see. She says, "Oh, well, your fee has already been arranged with your family. So that's already taken care of."
Out of character, that
Yeah,
would be kosher for me.
It's basically like the head's mom is
Yeah.
telling us to do this job.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you are not independent contractors.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're part of the Yakuza family.
Yeah. That's why I stated it like that. Our boss's boss told us to do the job.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Couple other things that you've been asking about. So Threadwell is she lets you know, in case you didn't know, that Threadwell is a worldwide contractor for the provision of government services in sectors of healthcare, incarceration, and immigration administration. So governments pay them, and then they do everything. They train staff, they provide security, build facilities. Their correctional complexes are in high demand for the secure facilities and for their secure facilities and high rehabilitation rates. You already know what happened with the sludge zone, so we won't go over that. Carl Marziak is an expert in creating artificial precious stones. Has worked at various cartels in the past. While he was at Scaron, he continued his work using materials smuggled in to produce synthetic gems in a makeshift lab. The gems can be worth something in counterfeit jewelry, but they are most useful in technological applications. Unfortunately, Marzak was never much of an engineer. Lastly, Gem Cutter had nearly finished his sentence at another facility before he disappeared. Kali Kantaros and partners probably paid off officials to get Marzak out early, and were pissed off when Threadwell pulled some bullshit bureaucracy trick to transfer him back and take him to Skiron. KMP then managed to identify the Gem Cutter's former cellmate, a Basil Sedaris, who escaped Skiron and is living under a false identity in Tokyo, named Bede, Bede.
Okay.
So he says, "Look, you should probably hit up some contacts, dig up some more information about Skiron." He says, you could go down to the dead dock down here. Um, that's the closest place. That's the closest illegal market. You never know. They might have some information.
Okay. Uh,
Like
in
Genki,
what
Genki
can we?
leans into Yameko and says, "So Obasama will just contact her with her package when it's ready to go.
Yep. But
Okay.
before we go on to that, I wanted to ask, are there any dead around?
And the prison, definitely.
Are there
I
any
want to,
dead around? Okay.
like,
Oh, do you say that out loud, or are you asking the GM?
no, that's me as the player asking the
Well,
the
okay,
MC.
so fiction
Gank,
first game.
Genki looks at you and then just does like a wide spread, like almost does like a 360, and he says everywhere.
so hold on. So yeah. Um so fiction first. So what do
Oh,
you, so the question is what do you do?
Yumiko looks over at Asashi and says, "You have this, right? Oh, I'll be right back." And then like walks away from the group and then starts trying to find um spirits.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a roll. This will be our first roll.
Genki rubs the bridge of his nose.
All right.
Like,
So are you getting off the crane? You guys are all on top of this big crane. You're like, you're a couple hundred feet in the
yeah,
air.
yeah. That's why he's massaging the bridge of his nose now, and he's looking at Asahi
Yumiko's like,
because,
"I have this." Like Yumiko's gonna
but
go back down and be like, "I'm not needed here. They got this. I'm gonna go see if I can find some dead to speak with."
Okay.
and
I'm
like
going to do
Genki looks at Asahi and he's like rubbing the bridge of his nose, like, "You got this? Are you good?" Because
Yeah.
he's like looking at her leave and he's shaking his head, and like Genki like just puts his hands in his pockets and like follows, and he just like shoots like a virtual text message for um who the company was, the guy they're supposed to get that he's a gem cutter, over to Asahi.
Okay. Let's take care of
Yeah,
Rachel. So Rachel has a spotlight right now.
yeah,
Okay.
and I'm going like this because we're screwed if she like sees dead people and jumps off the crane.
Okay. So Rachel has a spotlight. So Rachel, you're going to are you so what actions are you taking? What's it look like in the scene? You're on mute.
She's always hearing the dead, so she's just like, okay, what voice am I hearing that sounds like it should still be here right now?
Okay. All right, cool. All right, and I guess you're doing this on top of the crane?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're going to make a roll. So the threats are, all right.
Okay.
You're on top of a crane. You're very high up. All right. There's a possibility if you lose your footing or concentration, you could fall off.
Okay.
Okay. That's a threat. Consequence would be damage. Broken body from doing that. Um that's the only one I can think of right now. So what tags are you going to do you believe are appropriate for this role?
I believe I'm going to be using the dead talk.
Okay.
Um, and please correct me if I'm not doing this correctly, because I can only use one of the tags within
Nope.
this.
You can use as many tags as apply.
Okay, because then it would be working in conjecture with respect for the dead, because I'm like, they're all around us, so I'm like, let's see what they have to say, what's going on. The dead talk, spirits can't lie to me, and then there's the downside of I always hear the dead.
Okay. I'll let you know if your weakness I mean, you're actually the fact that you're always hearing the dead is a positive for you at this point because you're always hearing the dead because you're looking
Mm-hmm.
for them. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's a weakness in this case.
Okay.
All right, but definitely the dead talk. And I think I can buy respect for the dead because maybe the dead, maybe there's something that they know about. Like maybe you have some kind of intangible, thing. So that looks like 2 power. You can click on the tags. I think if you lock your sheet, which is the green button on the top right. Now,
Okay.
if you click the tags,
Confirm, burn the dead talk.
no, you do not want to burn the tag. Just click on the words.
Okay. Okay. Power tag.
So you're doing a core move. All
Yeah.
right. We're going to make this a quick outcome. All right.
Okay.
Click the tags that apply.
Okay. I believe I did that correctly. I clicked them. Nothing happened on my screen. Was something supposed to happen?
Yes.
Okay. Because I have core moves, quick outcome set up, and then when I click my tags,
Do
they're
they
yellow now.
Oh, that's good. Something did happen.
Okay.
They're yellow.
Okay. For that.
Okay.
Okay.
So click both of those. You got those clicked, then hit execute move.
Okay. So now it's asking me custom modifier.
You don't have any.
So just wait for MC's approval.
Yep, confirm. Oh wait. Approve all. There we go.
An 8?
Yep. No, a 10 total.
Oh, okay.
Because it's +2. So you're of a 10 with a 2 power. Okay. So yes, you did get some dead. All right. So now this is a discovery. So what you're trying to do is you're just trying to discover things. All right. This is so if we go to, remember that sheet that I said about effects? It's in the journal. Okay. So if you look at discover in the bottom row, all right. Are you there?
For the journal tab, it's 5 for the.
You're on mute again.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
It's on discover, sense, recall, information, research.
Yep. Converse, reveal, discover valuable detail. So that's 1 power per detail. So you essentially can ask me 2 questions, one for each power. Okay? About details that the ghosts may know. They may or may not know it.
Okay.
Depends on what you ask. So, in the fiction, a ghost, it looks like the ghost of a construction worker, okay? Appears behind you, all right? And it whispers to you and it says, "Madam," it says, "You can hear me?"
Yep, I can hear you. What can do you need to know anything? Or tip
No,
for
but
tat?
the fact that someone can actually hear what I'm saying, and you see the apparition of the ghost is like it's like a ghost, and it looks like the body is like all twisted up, like it was killed in the flooding, of the when the tsunami hit, and its body was broken up against the crane. Um and it's all like waterlogged, and it looks like the colors of it are all grays and blacks and muted colors. And it looks at you like with like one socket, eye socket doesn't have an eye in it, and it looks at you and it's like, you can hear me? Oh, it's been so long since I've talked with anyone.
I can hear you and I can see you. You look like you've probably seen better days. That must have been painful. I'm sorry you had to pass in such a manner.
Well, he says, I'm. Says, I am. I seem not to be able to move from this place. I. But I'm glad I have you now. What's happened these last? I don't know what year or how. I don't even know when it is now. And it starts just to babble.
Yeah. Mhm. Sir, I can tell you what year it is. It is 2000XXX. Um,
It's like 2080.
it's 2080.
Well, actually, it'd be
There's
2084. 2084.
Did
it's
I twitch from the ghost?
2084.
Yeah.
As you can see, this place is no longer what it used to be. It's now called the Sludge Zone.
Oh.
Uh,
So I
I
can't
actually,
really tell what in it. Okay.
I have some questions. Have you been here the whole time since you passed? You said you were stuck here, correct?
Yeah, I can go nowhere else.
Okay. Have you seen anything interesting coming from that island? And I point over to the island.
Mm.
Like ships, drones, anything going in or going out?
There's been says I noticed I don't know how long it's been. I can't you don't really understand time when you're dead.
That's
Um
okay. No.
but I've seen there were no lights and now there's been lights and I've seen boats come up to it.
Okay.
Um why?
Trying to locate someone. We think they're over there. Do you know much about that island? How to get on or off it?
Isn't it a prison?
Well, ever since the Great Tsunami, it's been out of commission.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
I'm sure you do. Um, but I'm not sure who's trying to put it back into commission. But have you, have you seen any of the logos that have been bringing them on or off?
No, it hasn't nothing on the outside of it has changed other than there has been lights and like I said, boats come up to it.
Okay.
I guess that means there are people there now.
Yes, generally, if lights are being turned on, there are people, unless there's the spirits like you who. But yeah. What should my second question be?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm thinking.
Oh, is there anything uh, job-wise that you wanted to know, or your fixations with finding people's secrets
I'm probably gonna
sneaking
scratch
in?
my itch and be like, "So, have you seen any gossip? Seen anyone who hasn't supposed to be here? Seen something that people don't want people to know?"
Mm.
Something wanted to tell that he had to take to the grave.
um, he says, well, uh, I think that I don't know. I mean, would there be a I noticed recently that there's been some crackdown. There's been people that have been moving the shed the people who live in the sludge zone, the sheds. I know that they've been being moved forcibly moved out periodically. That's new.
Oh, so they're cleaning up the sludge zone. And that's recently, correct?
Well, I mean, I think so because I'm remembering it. Again, being dead is comes with some disadvantages.
Understand. Trying not to get involved with the timeline too much, but in your memory, do you think the lights turning on the island occurred close to the same time the crackdown has started? That seemed to appear at the same time.
That feels right.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all I needed. Thank you so much.
Well, but
Again,
okay. Can
I'm sorry that you're stuck here. I will send a prayer to you at my ancestral home to hope that you can pass on. I'm sorry I can't do much more than that, because if I just don't have that ability. If I'll send a priest or someone over here to maybe bless it, and hopefully that can help you move on to the next place so you're still not stuck here.
and he looks he's looks like he's got as much as you can tell from a ghost. He seems to have gratitude towards that. He would he'd love to move on, I'm sure.
And before you go, can I have your name just so I can have something to pray over?
Oh yeah. Um
You need one or
yeah, I do
have
need one.
it's male.
Male.
Yoshio, last name Minami, first name Yosh Yoshio, last name Minami.
Okay.
I'll toss out the generator in case you need it in the future, or you can just say, "Give
I
me a name."
yeah, I do. I had it. I must have accidentally closed it.
No worries.
Yeah. So I had it open at one point.
Thank you. I'm going to have to get back to my companions. I hope you have peace and may you pass soon. And then she leaves.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and pass the spotlight to Ashi. Ashi, you are again, you know, you are on top of that skyscraper or not skyscraper. You're on top of that gantry crane.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
Okay, so I approach Frank and I just I ask first, where would you like the target delivered?
If you can keep him at your one of your safe houses and then contact me when he is when you have him and then I'll meet you.
Okay, just a moment. I'm writing this down. Okay. Okay. Um, were there any assets made available to facilitate, uh, this pickup?
No. You bring your own tools.
So I send her some contact information through AR,
Okay?
and I say this is how you can reach me directly. And I bow
Mhm.
and like I give her like the because she gave me like a very curt nod, right?
Yes.
I give her
She
the
did.
same nod. I give her the same you know the same bow, uh, and then I turn around and leave.
Okay. All right. And Genki, you have the spotlight.
So when Kamiko is walking, like there's maybe like 10 breaths, and then you realize the entire time he's been right behind her. the whole time, and when she's walking, it's like, so did you find out what you needed to find out?
Jesus fuck.
Okay.
I thought by now you remembered.
So,
It's not.
interesting key. So, you know how after everything that went around over here, apparently people have been starting to clean it up, and somebody is trying to make the sludge zone a living area again.
Is it a living area, or is it a very like niche place for a drop off to go to either warehouse storage or just a drop off for stuff illegally with no and like Yankees look around, no security or visible eyes watching what you're doing.
Well, it looks like they're trying to, I think they're going to be redeveloping. This is my speculation. But you know how some of the homeless people live here, those less fortunate, this is where people congregate. They've been cleaning them up and like kicking them out. And this happened around the same time that our island that we need to check out started lighting back up with boats appearing. So something bigger is going on here, I think, than just us needing to kidnap someone or break someone out.
Yeah. I mean, so I was working at a corporation where I was using my inmates to go and do illegal, shady stuff off the books. They were good at making synthetic gems that are good at tech. I wouldn't have the entire facility right in the prison area.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to let you know, out of character, I put um, the details in a journal. So if you have questions about like what exactly we were doing and the names of people involved, I put down there, from my notes.
Yep. I see it. Kidnap journal. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Carry on.
I figure like true like people of a profession, we have this is like our staff meeting notes for what we need to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think we can end that scene. Okay. And couple things, you've got this dead zone, all right?
Literally.
Or dead dock, okay? Which is around, which is essentially where you are right now. Okay? And there are people all around here, that live here homeless, more or less, that live here. And you have other things to research if you'd like. So let's go ahead and I'd like to know. We're going to go ahead and move the spotlight back to Yumiko. Yumiko, so what do you do now?
What was that bar that they told us to check out?
That what?
That bar they said we should check out for information.
It's not a bar.
The
It's a
illegal
person.
market. Or Betty.
Betty?
Yeah.
Sally for the guy that we're looking for. The illegal market where you could possibly get gossip about what's going on.
Yeah. The illegal market is in the dead dock. The Betty is the guy who was the cellmate of Marzak.
He's on the run.
Yeah.
Laying low.
So let's head to the dead dock and see if we can get some more information and then see if we can find this Betty.
Okay.
And we can maybe ask about the people getting their heads busted in by relocators.
All right. So this
while we're going on there, Yumiko's gonna say, Miku, can you run a data check on anyone that fits the description of Betty and our target and see if anyone's seen them over the cameras in the system?
Yep.
I know it's gonna take a long time. You're not gonna get the data to me right away. But if you could just start running the program.
All right. This is going to be another quick outcome. Okay. So this is information gathering.
Yep, it will be AI hacker finding the unfound.
Yep.
And I guess electronics can't keep me out because hacking into like all sorts of cameras and security systems.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
So you're
So this will be a core moves, quick outcome.
actually, it's not a quick outcome. It's a
Okay.
it's a track. Oh no, it'll be a quick outcome. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. Well, quick question. Would it be a tracked outcome, especially if I'm not expecting results right away because I know what I'm asking? Okay.
No, no, timing has nothing on it.
Okay.
Do I want to add?
Can I use this role for a question just to see how if people could assist me? Because if we're doing this, I would request assistance from Genki's drones to also act as to be able to run around, and then I would also ask Sashi for their companion's assistant.
Okay, so the way I understood it is you are asking your AI assistant to essentially get on the net and
Yes.
figure out any information associated with this guy named Beatty, or his original name was Basil Sedaris, because Frank gave you that too. So I don't think the drones are going to help you with that.
True.
Okay, if you were going out and trying to intimidate people to answer questions or something, maybe. Okay,
No, not yet.
yeah, approve all. All right. Oh yeah. All right. Choose effects equal to your power. All right. So you get 3 pieces of information. All right. This is what Mako comes back with. Uh First of all, comes back and says, "Did you know? Did you know that this Beatty, he owns a boxing club now in Tokyo.
He
It's
owns
called,
a boxing.
yeah, Beatty's Venerable Boxing Club, and it gives you like it gives you like Miko brings up the map, puts a pin on the map, and it's like it's right here. Uh,
Ooh.
and then it says, and he underwent plastic surgery.
He didn't.
He did. Doesn't look anything like he looked before. In fact, I found a file where he paid for fingerprint removal.
Ooh, ouch. And you have it right now?
I do.
Can you show me the photos of before and after, please?
Yep, they come up. And the
Huh.
and the guy's like the photos that you have, the guy looks, in one hand he looks like a kind of like a large little bit overweight, very like Eastern European guy. Okay. In the other photo, in the after photos, he looks like a overweight, somewhat Japanese guy. Okay. Um, Very muscular though. Like, you know, those big like guys who do those things like the caber tosses and stuff, like, you know, big framed guys, not bodybuilder muscle, but strength muscle. Um, yeah. So there's the before and the after. Um,
Okay. That. What's the true juicy goss?
so here's the true juicy stuff, because apparently there's a number of financial backers, silent partners in that boxing club. Uh,
Please tell me you
where
found out who the partner
where he's
are.
got, no, I couldn't find out.
Okay.
That was in a totally different domain. I don't know if you wanted to try and figure that out, but it's not something that, you know.
We can figure that out later.
Yeah,
But continue. Tell me more
right.
about the silent
So
partners.
this guy, it looks like he responds very well to money.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what I got for you.
Well, thank you, Miku. Can you? I know you probably have already done this, but can you send them to the guys' console so they have this information as well?
Yep, So each of you over your AR gets like a bullet point summary of what Miko found. No audio, just text. Plain text, bullet point summary with the map and where the BD's Venerable Boxing Club is. And the documents that identify the plastic surgery that identifies BD as being Basil Sedaris.
All right,
think-
noted.
I think I figured out where we need to go next, unless you guys have other ideas or want to test.
Well, since
is
we're
it-
so close to the dead docks, did we want to find out about the relocation while we're here to see if that's
Well, do need to figure out who's relocating all the homeless by force. Ooh, do you want to add this to the blog, Sashi?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
So the people were being relocated. This is something we got from the dead guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
forcefully too, and it happened around the same time the shut down prison started reactivating. So I think Dad would be interested to find out that this dead space is now suddenly being redeveloped.
maybe? I guess Genko will be leading the way over to the dead docks to find out where the market area is to go ahead and start asking questions.